Today, right now, June 11th, is when you can get the final Bloodstained Ritual of the Night downloadable content. It comes in the form of a classic adventure called Classic 2, Dominique's Curse, and it takes place after the original game, after its ending. And, you know, I find myself looking back on this entire experience, this entire adventure, with a little bit of nostalgia, but also I find it's not just news that I'm delivering to you today. It's almost like the beginning of the end, or rather the end of the beginning, perhaps. I'll explain. So, Bloodstained, of course, was a Kickstarter game that kind of blossomed out of what Koji Igarashi wanted to create after leaving Konami. And he wanted to continue working on a Castlevania type game, but obviously didn't have the license for it, the IP, so he created his own in the form of Bloodstained. And since then, the game was a massive success on Kickstarter and ended up giving us tons of downloadable content that was part of the Kickstarter, but also some additional content that was bonus content. And in this particular circumstance, this was bonus content that is it's pay to play. $9.99. It's available in I believe all the shops right now online, so you can go pick it up. It's available right now. I downloaded mine, and it's currently downloading on my PlayStation 5, so we'll see what that's all about. I am currently finally sitting down and trying to beat Bloodstained on the PS5, using my PS4 copy that I have had for ages. I kind of have been going back and forth on the PS4 version and the Switch version. For the initial, when I first got the game, I played it only on PS4, and then once I got the Switch, I kind of migrated to that version, and I got really far in that version, but then I got kind of stuck, and then I kind of forgot about it, and some time has passed since then, but now I'm sitting down and finally right back in it and trying to beat the game so I can play this Classic 2 downloadable content, just because I haven't seen the ending of the game. And part of that was I wanted to wait for everything to finish, and now that everything is finished with Ritual of the Night, I'm kind of like I'm at a loss. I'm excited to play through this game, and I probably have about 45-ish% of the map finished, and I'm chugging along, and it's been a really, really fun experience on PlayStation 4, or 5 rather. But I got to thinking, I went back and looked at some of my old videos talking about Bloodstained, the Kickstarter video, which I'm going to show a little bit in just a minute, where I kind of petitioned for people to buy into it so that way you could get the Wii U port, and which infamously got canceled, of course, and once they moved everything over to the Switch. And even my visit to New York Comic-Con, where I met Koji Igarashi and interviewed him, which I hadn't planned on doing. But, you know, it's interesting because I've been a Castlevania fan for as long as I can remember. I mean, going as far back as Simon's Quest when I first played it back in like 89, like 1989-ish, or maybe 90, I can't remember, maybe it was 89. But, you know, what I didn't realize is that there was such a huge community of not only Castlevania fans, but this new transition to Bloodstained as a spiritual successor to Castlevania. And, you know, we all still love Castlevania for what it was, and unfortunately what it is right now, which I'll get into in another video, hopefully in the near future. But, you know, I started to think a lot about the community and the aspects of that, which I really didn't think about until preparing to do this video and watching some of these old videos. I mean, I've been a content creator for now well over a decade, and it's interesting because I've always loved Castlevania, and I've always kind of showcased my love for Castlevania in various videos or whatever, but it wasn't really until I discovered Bloodstained and discovered the game and the content and everything behind it, that I really started to dive in and find such a massive community for Castlevania. You know, I was part of the Castlevania dungeon for a while, the forum, and posted here and there, but I really wasn't on there that much back in the like late 2000s. But with Bloodstained, I found that the community aspect of the franchise for Bloodstained was so strong, and there's just so many people in the Discord talking it to the point where like I have to mute it because there's just so many people in there talking about the game and talking about just anything and everything. It's a really special community that has been created. So at the very least, it's brought me closer to other like-minded Castlevania and Bloodstained fans through all the various videos that I've done. I've met so many incredible people both online and in person. You guys should seriously check this out if you are a Wii U owner. This is a game to get excited about. It is down the road, so it's not immediate, but I would definitely recommend donating if you can. So again, this is for all the people, this video is for all the people like me. I think it's worth donating that much money to a game that you get a lot back, and not only that, but you get to see that the game is funded and get it so that it's made.
But first I got in a little bit of Bloodstained action. I checked out the game. This is the E3 build that it's based on, and you know, with a fresh coat of paint. Looks really great graphically, and gameplay-wise it's super tight. So yeah, I got to meet Koji Igarashi, and it was really fantastic. He was, didn't really understand much English, but he was very nice. And the really cool thing is that I was able to interview him.
In regards to Bloodstained, and so first and foremost, I just want to say it's been a real pleasure. You know, even if I know that there's a sequel supposedly coming, like a full-on sequel, and you know, we can kind of maybe do a video in the future speculating, you know, is it going to be 3D, is it going to be 2D? We don't really know much about it at this point, but you know, it got me thinking about the community and everything, and I really just wanted to say thanks to the community for watching these videos that I've been putting out for the franchise. And you know, this Dominique's Curse classic DLC is really intriguing to me personally, especially going way back to my favorite Castlevania game, Simon's Quest. This is pretty much a very Simon's Quest oriented adventure where you've got a map that looks just like the old school map from Simon's Quest in Nintendo Power. You've got Dominique visiting towns, talking to people, all this sort of like non-linear adventure that I was really fond of when I first played Castlevania. So it's really cool to see that Iga and his development crew have kind of acknowledged the importance of a game like Simon's Quest long before Symphony of the Night ever took place. So I'm really excited to get into this DLC. I gotta beat the game first though, so just a fair warning, if you are going to download the Dominique's Curse stuff, there are big time spoilers, which I have tried desperately to avoid, not reading too much in terms of the game. That's why I haven't really covered much in this video in terms of what it contains. But for the most part, what I can tell you is it's a pseudo sequel to Ritual of the Night, kind of like an epilogue or an aftermath, so to speak. Now, does this set up Ritual of the Night 2? Are we going to have Dominique as a playable character, or is Miriam going to continue her adventure? I'm curious, and maybe I'm saying something that people in the comments are going to be like, dude, you obviously haven't beaten Bloodstained if you know that Miriam did blah 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 or whatever, because I don't know her fate. So it'll be interesting to see that in the end. So don't spoil it for me, but let's pretend that everyone lives and everyone's great, and that there's, you know, let's say Miriam beats the bad guys and etc. etc. Who do you want to see as a playable character in the next Ritual of the Night 2, if there is, if that's what it's going to be called? Let me know down in the comments below, and let me know, are you picking up this Dominique's Curse DLC? Let me know down below. As always, thanks so much guys for watching, and I just can't thank you enough for joining me in sharing of my appreciation of this spiritual successor to my favorite franchise. So see you later, and yeah, I'm gonna go play.